Oh yes! Welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions News. It's your Friday edition of the news. Lots of stories to go over. The vote is in full swing. We've got other piddly crap. And where the hell is Kabam Miike? Our first story kicks off with the following, and the fact is, people have got their speculations of what the June champion is going to be. In previous Marvel Contest Champions news, we've talked about the idea that Ultrix did some data mining and potentially found some sort of Atlantean-based event coming soon, which further teases the idea of Namor coming into the contest. Now, a lot of people are screaming Dark Phoenix, but I do think that Kabam had already scheduled something that it was relation to something that was going on with the movies, especially considering the fact that by the time, Kabam do work about a year in advance with what they're actually going to be doing. So I don't think it is going to be something that is going to be mutant related. And I do fancy the idea of it being some kind of Atlantean based event with Namor indeed, and maybe some sort of sidekick type champion that could factor into it. But a lot of people are still having that speculation. It could be Kitty Pryde, it could be Charles Xavier, it could even be Apocalypse. So there are lots of different ideas out there of what the June champions could be. But obviously stay locked to the channel for more information on what the champions could be. And all these people, keep locked to Marvel Contest Champions as well, so you get the scoop once I get put into the loop. And on to our next story, the community choice. And at the point of recording this video, it is indeed live. You can now vote for your champion you want to see have that rework. And every single vote counts. If everybody got off their seats and actually went to vote, you could actually sway it. And it would be quite a dramatic sway, considering that at the moment of recording this video, there's only a slim amount that have actually voted. And when I'm talking slim, and it could be a bit scary to think that there's so less people actually interested in aspects of this game, or maybe they haven't seen it. I hope it's the second part. But the fact is, at the moment, the most voting that we see does indeed go to Colossus with 3,000 odd votes. So yeah, a lot more still to come in, and I will probably add in at the point of recording this video or editing this video where the total is up to, and we may follow this a little bit more for Marvel Contest of Champions news. But the fact is, yeah, all the others are kind of, I wouldn't say close, because it is still a very far away point. I really hope that the community does get out and does indeed vote, especially considering that only 5,600 so far at the point of recording this video have actually got and started the vote. So like I said, it's a little bit scary that that's the case. Hopefully the playing numbers for Marvel Contest of Champions is good, but I wouldn't be surprised if with the scuffness that was last month, and even start to this month, that players haven't started kind of turning away from the game. Either way, it is interesting to see that players are coming out to support this. Next, and just to address something that a lot of people have come to me and said, because they ranked up certain champions for the Save the Battle Realm event, where you need a certain champion to use for different paths based on having certain infinity gems, and that's not always the case. You can use other champions to facilitate going down different paths, but it does help. However, for those champions that people have ranked up and the change of the event making it a little bit more negotiable, a little bit more fairer to the player base, will we be seeing any sort of compensation for those rank ups, which theoretically people may have done just as a bit of a mistake, or not a mistake, but because they had intentions for it? And the answer, unfortunately, for those is no. Kabam's answer is that because you have gone down that route of ranking up a champion, it's your choice to do that. So therefore, you're stuck with it. There's no rank down tickets that will be available to you. Kabam Porthos does affirm that, and by saying that, we're not going to do them anytime soon. I don't know why, it'd be a good money maker for them. Next up, and onto a post that is very good and a very good read, and I do strongly suggest going to the link in the description to indeed give it that read. The post is centered on complicated champions, in particular Ebony Maw. And the whole kind of thought process around it opens up a nice little discussion point with people in the community, whether or not they feel new champions coming in are made too overcomplicated. Which in some ways you kind of look at the way that the game is incredibly technical nowadays, and it's something that I keep repeating in my videos, in that if you've got a really technical game, and the fact is then the technical matters to the functionality of the game need to come in at the same time, they need to run parallel. But the fact is sometimes it doesn't work that way. You'll have certain champions that are able to bypass certain things of other champions, which in some ways has been seen as an exploit. Then other things with other champions that are meant to work properly don't, or work too favorably towards the player base, and therefore seen as an exploit as well. It is a very difficult thing with having an incredibly technical game, having new technical champions, and trying to negotiate these things between the developer changing things constantly, and between you then going, what the hell is going on with this game? I think in the whole kind of scheme of things, this in a nutshell is the perfect epitomization. I can actually just imagine Gru, that kind of meme thing of like Gru when he just would say like, create cool product, number 1. Number 2, market cool product. 3, sales plateau. It just, if you've seen the film, you get the reference. Otherwise I just look like a prat. I mean, I look like a prat in general, but more than a prat. Super prat. Either way, for me, I don't really want to force my own opinion into this, but I feel at times that Kabam maybe should focus on the events that they put out rather than the champions that they put in. Especially with that thing that I've been saying of late, that it would be better for Kabam to put 1 champion in a month, not 2, and not even 3, but focus on that 1 champion, the way it interworks with different types of content, but also spend more time to develop really fun and enjoyable stuff that leaves players going, do you know what, I can't wait to do an event like that very soon. Come up with something new, something fresh, something that we haven't seen before, and that would be absolutely amazing. And yeah, you would say that some of the stuff they put in is fresh, but hasn't really been accepted as being good, except for bounty missions, because this particular iteration of the bounty missions last month was spot on. It was really spot on. Less energy spend. It seemed that it was really fair for player base, and everyone loved it. Then you go into April. And you go from April to May, and people's opinions do change. But either way, I'm sure that through guides and other things, we'll end up positively going, we can deal with these champions. Next up, let's talk about RNG, revives, and the Cavalier for our crystals. Yeah, what are our thoughts on these? Since becoming, or when you become Cavalier, you'll then get the opportunity to get the 4-hour crystals. Are they going to be better than the ones previously? They're standard free ones, the Grandmaster version of them. The fact is they're meant to be better, or you'd hope they'd be better. Yesterday was the first time since getting Cavalier status that I've got a revive out of these. They just don't drop, and I'm just going to open one quickly now just to see if that is indeed the case. The answer is health potion. I don't think you can really see that, but it's as you can see down there, health potion from the Cavalier crystal. So it is very much a case, are we actually getting anything decent from them? Someone opened 101, and that is what they've got. It's not something that is new because people have been vocal on the subject, including C-Man of Legends. He put out a video and kind of talked about the idea of the drop rates from this stuff. I kind of analysed this whole kind of aspect. And look, let's face it, Kabam make more money from us purchasing revives through the medium of buying through unit deals and unit packs and stuff like that. So would they allow that to be so frequently in it? The answer is no, they wouldn't. It's not going to be ever the case that you'll see that drop. And I don't think you get the drop rates on them. So it kind of sucks in some ways, but look, this is just RNG at its finest. And it's just, that really kind of answers the question for anyone a bit concerned, like, well, why aren't these dropping? Even with some people having thousands, hundreds. I mean, there you go, 620 was opened there by Invincible, and that is what was dropped. Not exactly the most impressive of things. Next up, I want to give a bit of time to those reoccurring bugs and the stuff that have been, well, bugged for a long time, and what's really going on. Because let's face it, from the Sentinel punishing off the back of the SP1, the throwing of the L3 and then just gliding forward, and as well the hitting into the block countered by special bug that is still very much here in the game at the moment, not to mention the Iron Man 2 bug. God, there's lots of bugs at the moment, but it's not really something, I think everyone's got a bit tired with kind of getting like angry about it. But the fact is, where are we up to? Have we got anything more to say? Is there anything that's going to come by the end of the month when it comes to the next update? And the answer is no, not at the moment. But it is great to see the passion from the community for these particular things, people providing evidence against this stuff. And, you know, I really do hope that next month we get all the bugs sorted out. We have a good month with good events that is well supported by the community, and it may win over a lot of people because let's face it, this last not 12 months, but this last month has been not exactly great as I've keep going on. But moving forward, I really do hope that these are addressed. We have a smooth running of the game and everyone's happy. Oh, just to point out, like, I'm not kind of repeating this to just kind of keep repeating myself for the sake of it. The fact is, there are people that have different experience of the game than you. If you have good internet and you have a good device, and I'm talking top of the range, just recently come out, then somebody that maybe has a device that is a few years older, maybe bad internet, but they can't afford anything more than what they've got, then they will have a maybe a different experience to you. So have a bit of consideration. Also, shout out to Common Sense for sending something through on Twitter to me, which basically highlights something that isn't particularly good. Iron Man. Now, as you know, in the video for yesterday, I put that kind of little clip of me playing with Iron Man, and it went into the block, even though my big head was covering it. The fact is, when I was doing the L2, it, Sabretooth went into a block, which shouldn't be. It should be a case that the champion takes the damage, but didn't for whatever reason. But getting this sent through proves the fact that Kabam have been told about this, or they were aware of this, back in November of Iron Man's Special 2 whiffing at the point of being executed, which we now come to this month when we need to use the champion. What's the point? What is the actual point? Either way, like I said, it's a little bit frustrating that they've had a bit of time to deal with this and haven't, or made aware of it, but maybe kind of thought this was an isolated issue and didn't really kind of mess with it. Either way, there's still lots, like I said, lots to pick up on, from bugs to issues that need to be addressed, and I really do hope that Kabam look at everything, make a decision over the summer or maybe this month to go, right, let's get this all sorted and have a smooth running of the game. Lord knows we love it and we want it. On to our next story in a bit of more positive light. Let's look at decent synergies. So Kabam Zibit has got this particular thread that is all about, what were your favourite synergies? What synergy do you like? Massacre with a bit of a Domino, and a bit of a Red Hulk. Why not? Incinerate damage, love it, good idea. Someone has indeed put that. Also, what about Guillotine? Now, I do like Guillotine with Night Thrasher, with Gamora, and even with Ronan added in as well. Nice little synergy grouping there. A lot of fun. But what is your favourite synergy? Go to the link in the description and have your say. Look at this. Loads of people put some fantastic ones there. Blade, Cap Infinity War. Yep, loads. Have your say. Let them know. Next up, and where's Kabam Michael? Where the hell is he? I've been searching long and hard for the last few days, and he's indeed gone missing. So yes, Kabam Michael has now been missing for 6 days. Yes, the last time he posted was on the 4th of May, and the last time he commented on something was the 3rd of May. What the bloody hell is he? I don't know. Has he just evaporated into some sort of chair? Is he gone? Is he missing without a trace? I think everybody's missing him at the moment, being quite vocal in the forums, taking everybody's shit, and also trying to give a little bit of sass, if you know what I mean. There were rumours that he turned into some sort of alter ego, bit of a likeness, but what seems more likely is that he is indeed being snapped, not snapped by Hulk or snapped by Thanos, that indeed Tony Stark saw what he needed to do, and in his snap, it did mean that unfortunately Kabam Mike had been dusted. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's probably just on holiday or something, you know, it's perfect time to take it. Game's a little bit scuffed. Take a break, come back, focus, make the game good again. Speaking of which, I was just seeing this on the Marvel Contest of Champions community page, and I was just like, yeah, we've got to put this in Marvel Contest of Champions news. Great meme, good to see. God. That has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news for the 10th of May 2019. Make sure to cast your vote and support the favourite champion that you like to get revamped. Link is in the description below. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. Drop into a live stream tonight at 1900 hours GMT. Hope to see you there. And also make sure to support my new channel called Stormbreaker Gaming. The link is in the description below. I'll tell you more about that in a video in the weekend. And don't forget, MCOC News Weekend. We'll see you there.